Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do, especially under these very, very difficult circumstances. It's been a bizarre Easter weekend, hasn't it, guys? It really, really has. That we've, one of the first bank holidays that we can't enjoy ourselves with our family and friends. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase retro kits from the 60s all the way through to the early 2000s, including the 1976 home shirt that inspired this season's home kit, the 1980 FA Cup final Trevor Brooking shirt that inspired this season's away kit. There's loads of really nice Bobby Moore stuff in there as well. There's the Boys of '86, both home and away shirts. There's the Paolo Di Canio 1990-2000, Doc Martens home and away shirts in there as well. Plus Admiral and Umbro West Ham colour inspired track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts. There's also some really, really nice England gear as well. And loads of other football teams, very nice retro stuff in there. So any purchases that you may be making, thank you very much for that. The commission that the channel would normally get will be going directly to the NHS to help those that are trying to help us through this very, very difficult time. So thank you very much for any purchases that you may be making. Now, today's video, I wanted to talk about a couple of subjects that have been rattling around for the last couple of hours. First and foremost, Declan Rice's conversation with Rio Ferdinand while Rio, Dex and Mason Mount were talking about the game that Dex and Mason played on FIFA, where Rice ended up beating Mount 3-2. Now, one of the questions, just from a friendly conversation point of view, it was a bit left field out of the track of the conversation, but I can understand why Ferdinand asked that, because they're two mates together. Now, Ferdinand asked Declan Rice, would you like to play alongside Mason Mount again on a more regular basis, or words to that effect? Because they talked about them playing for England together. But Rice said, yeah, I would hope so at some time in the future that we do get a chance to work together again. But you never know what's going to happen. Now, I know a lot of us are panicking about the situation with Rice at the moment, because we've got a long history as a football club of selling our best players, and I can understand it. As I said, Rice was just being honest. I personally think say for example, if you were sitting down in the pub with a couple of mates whenever we get back to normality, and one of your mates knows that you two do the same sort of job, construction, fire service, office work, whatever it is, and he turns around to you and say, would you like to be working with your mate at some point? Of course they're going to say yes. You'd love to work with your best mate, or mate that you find very, very close to your heart, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's just, that's all the question is. In my personal opinion, that's all the question is the fact that he's asking them, would you like to work with your best mate? He hasn't asked him, would you like to go to Chelsea? That's the different thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that Mason Mount's going to be at Chelsea for the rest of his career. It doesn't mean that Rice is going to be at West Ham for the rest of his career either. It'd be nice if he is. Of course he would. Mount could come to Chelsea. Mount can come from Chelsea to West Ham. It could happen. There's a good chance that Rice could go to Chelsea. We just don't know. But I honestly think it is just nothing more than just the friend saying that he wants to work with his friend. That's it. That's it. I know. There's, I know that people are reading in between the lines and everything, but we know how honest Rice is about things. He's always going to give an honest answer, and he has. So I wouldn't worry too much about it if you are. But this is what I'm thinking. It's literally just a case of, this is exactly what the situation is. He's been asked a legitimate question that any mate would be asked if you're in the company of your other mate that you get on really well with and you do the same sort of job. Now, there's another article that came out earlier today from Jack Wilshire, published in the Telegraph from Stadium Astro, apparently the source is. So I don't know who these guys are. I don't know if this is in fact a reliable source, but the way that the quotes are being written, I pretty much guess this is directly from Jack Wilshire. he's basically admitted that he said, if I'm honest, it hasn't really worked out, or words to that effect, and it seems to be that he's referring to his West Ham move from being from Arsenal, basically when he came to us on a free the summer before last. Now, he's saying that he wants to get his career back on track, he wants to get his health back on track, and again, this is just honesty from an honest man. Does it mean that we're going to sell him in the summer or whenever the transfer window is going to open? Maybe. I doubt it. He's trying to get it, but at the same point, him saying that he wants to get his health back on track and his career back on track. It doesn't say career where. He could try and get himself fit again and try and get his West Ham career back on track. Think about that. But at the end of the day, this is a man who's what? How old is he going to be now? 31, 32, possibly, give or take. It's in the twilight of his years when it comes to being a midfielder, especially in the Premier League. So yes, there's an argument to say that he wants to move on. There's a subtle hint to say that he wants to move on, but there's an also more obvious hint that he wants to get his actual career back on track, regardless of where he is, whether he stays at West Ham or he goes to Europe, he goes to Australia, he goes to the MLS, he goes to Canada. You never know. You never know what it's going to be. But it's nice and refreshing to see some genuine answers from footballers within West Ham. Because we all know the usual spiel. Oh, it's a big club. I don't want to move. And then in the summer transfer window, some club puts in 80 million quid and X player's gone off. We've seen it time and time again. Torres to Liverpool, to Chelsea from Liverpool, for example. 3 weeks before that move happened, said, "Oh, I love the club. They've done the world for me, and I don't want to move." And Chelsea put a massive bid in, and Liverpool accepted it. So he had no choice but to move. I mean, he did, but he didn't. You know what I mean? So I honestly don't think these are players that want to leave West Ham. I don't, especially with Rice. Wilshire is touch and go. Okay, because at the end of the day, he is from a West Ham family. He claims to be a West Ham supporter, and so he's going to be well aware of how everybody's disappointed with his move, both probably within his family and the social networking fan base as well, for that matter. Especially the comments he put up. So the comments that went up on that video where he tackled his bird. It's just good to see that sort of levity from people. It's good to see that level of honesty from people as well. But I personally don't think there's anything in it. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to know more and you're new around here, then by all means, please do consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, thank you very much. And please also do hit the notification bell to get to know when new content is going up. If you like the video and you feel I deserve it, then by all means, please do so. A lot of those that have been viewing the content recently are not subscribed still. We're looking at 2/3 of the viewing figures aren't subscribers. So please, guys, if you do like the content, please do hit the subscribe button. And please also share this content with anybody that you feel may want to watch it and isn't aware of the subject or isn't aware of the channel, for that matter. But I'm always interested to hear what you guys have got to say. So please give me your comments. So as always, guys, look after yourselves, stay safe, stay at home as much as you can, only go out when it's absolutely necessary. It's growing and quite cool today in comparison to the last few days, so stay at home. There is a heat wave coming, so please, guys, please do stay indoors as much as you can. I know it's difficult. I'm struggling with it as well. The furthest I'm venturing out, apart from going out to get my go out to the supermarket, is I'm literally in the garden. That's it. I'm not even going out for exercise walks at the moment. I may do again, but please stay at home. Stay away from the parks, even if it isn't closed. Stay away from the parks. Stay 2 meters away from each other, or 6.5 feet away from each other. For those watching in old money. And just look, because the more people stay at home, the quicker we can get over this. So in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, stay at home, relax, have a few beers if necessary. But I want you to stay safe, and I'll see you soon.